Namaskar friends, this is Shekhar Mayanil here with a brand new episode number 14 of Yogic Neurosciences in Hanuman Chalisa. So before I begin, let me seek the blessings of Lord Ganesh Ji and of course Hanumanji Maharaj, who is nobody other than my breath. Our breath is Hanumanji only. So let me share the screen with you. Uh, it's going to be a little different today because what we are doing is we'll be having some question answer session here, and the question answer session would be almost like uh, about 18 of my friends have asked me this question, and okay, and the question that they have asked me is, in the book The Gravity of Gratitude, authored by you, you mentioned that the thank you protocol mentioned therein also generates oxytocin in the brain. Now, that is a confirmed scientific evidence that with gratitude, you do have increased oxytocin, dopamine, and other nice, feel-good neurotransmitters in the brain. Now, the question is, can you comment on the correlation between thank you protocol breathing, Chalisa breathing, and the Ring and the Ram Katha breathing? So, thank you protocol is in the gravity of gratitude. Chalisa breathing is, we have been discussing this in the beginning episodes, how the Chalisa breathing happens. Jai Hanuman Gyan Gun Sagar, breathe in, hold, Jai Kapishate Hulo Kujagar, hold, and then breathe out, Ramaduta Tulita Baladhama, exhale, and then again hold. So that cycle, that is Chalisa breathing, right? And the Ring and the Ram Katha that we discussed in episode number 13. How do you think that, how are they related to each other in oxytocin generation in the brain? So let's talk about it. The thank you protocol involves gratitude, means thank you and conscious breathing. So what we have done is, when you're inhaling, mentally saying thank, and when you're exhaling, mentally saying you. So this particular thing, of course, the gap between the thing is also important. So this particular thing involves the gratitude component and the breathing, the pranayam component. So there are two components involved in it. So let me discuss the entire this connection with oxytocin release with different emotional feelings guidance scale. There is, in psychology books, there is a emotional feelings guidance scale, which is like which is basically um, graded by the different energy frequencies, which means that if you are feeling very powerless, depressed, grief, all these red area, this is the lowest energy frequencies that we can think of. This is almost like brain frying mechanism. It almost destroys your thinking and logical intellect and everything. So when you do the thank you protocol, so if you are in any of these sorry, if you're in any of these red zone, so what happens is you feel very powerless. So in that case, the gratitude component gives you this, it makes you jump from this lowest frequency level to the thankfulness level, to gratitude, which is very high amongst the high frequency. It is quite high, but not as high as consciousness is. Consciousness is an extremely high frequency, so highest energy. Okay, so this is what you have generated by using the thank you protocol. Okay, now that thank you protocol is, you cannot use it by, if suppose somebody says, I am, let's say Sitaji was to Hanumanji was to ask Sitaji, listen, Sitaji, can you just keep thanking the universe for whatever, everything? But it would not happen, because she was under depression, she was under suicidal tendencies, she was in absolute fear and insecurity right now. She had no idea what will happen to her within 1 month? She might be dead. So that type of situation, when you have deadline of of like, you cannot, it is not possible to thank that time. So thank you protocol only works if somebody, like say for instance, in my case, my dad was there, so I had trust, 100% trust. So until unless somebody has a total trust in that what you are saying, that protocol may or may not work. But nonetheless, how do you get them started? So how do you start is, you just say thank you for whatever is already there in front of you right now, whatever it is. Air is there, yes. The sunlight is there, yes. Trees are there, yes. So thank the universe for the trees, the sun. So that one by one, let's say you count 10 of those good things and thank for the existence for that. Gradually it will change your brain chemistry and you get into a very high frequency mode. Okay, so that's how it is. Now Chalisa breathing, on the other hand, is deep conscious breathing, right? We remember what we discussed. So if you are in any of these lower frequencies, then Chalisa breathing gets you into the very high frequency right away, into directly bypassing every other aspect, all these things, and you go directly here. Remember, like, I think everybody's mother has, or somebody in the family have told them, like say, if you experience any, whenever you are in trouble or something, chant Hanuman Chalisa, quietly chant Hanuman Chalisa. And you know what, 100% of the time, 100% of the time, person have got out of that. And that's why so much faith in Hanuman Chalisa is there in people, because what happens is, when you chant Hanuman Chalisa, if you do the Chalisa breathing, where it is very powerful and very effective. But even if you don't do the Chalisa breathing, if you just chant, the rhythm of that Hanuman Chalisa chanting itself creates a, a, a pranayam effect in you, which is what causes you to get out of the lower frequency into higher frequency and directly into the consciousness level of frequency. It is this consciousness, at this level the problems are solved. All your problems are solved at this level. No other level problems are solved ever. So remember that. So any of these frequencies, if you are in, do the Chalisa breathing and directly go from here all the way into the consciousness state. You will feel all this good stuff, good hopefulness, optimism, belief, excitement, passion, all this will happen to you because you are in a higher frequency mode right now. Chalisa breathing is, but Hanumanji cannot do the, Hanumanji cannot tell Sita ji Chalisa breathing, right? Neither can he tell thank you, keep saying thank you, because 1 month is left for her to make a decision. I mean, either not decision means whether she will be saved by Sri Ram or not, or she will die. That type of a thing that was there. So Hanumanji knew that she has very little time and it is not possible for one to preach her higher concepts, the consciousness and all that good stuff. This is extremely high frequencies, higher concepts. So teaching her those things is not going to work as much. So what he did was, in the ring, first he dropped the ring and then the Ram Katha. Then what happens is, she was suicidal. She was depressed. She was fearful. So what Hanumanji did, he dropped the ring. What happened? That once she saw the ring, she was happy, at the same time had discouragement also. She was having doubt also. You see that she had doubt, discouragement, all that started to happen. Worry. She was worried. She was worrying. I said, from where does this ring come from? Somebody has killed Ram or what? Or but then she said, no, nobody can kill him, and this ring cannot be made by magic anytime. So it has to be the real thing. But how did it happen? How did it come here? So these are the questions that she was asking. So what happened? Hanumanji got her out of the depression and suicidal tendency into doubt and disappointment. Now she is disappointed. I said, I don't know what will happen. Then suddenly Hanumanji started to uh, sing the Ram Katha. And then what happened? Suddenly and he came in front after that. And then hopefulness happened. optimism happened, belief happened. And then what happened? And then Hanumanji was asked by Sita ji, does Sri Ram even remember me? Or does he even love me anymore? I mean, it was such a direct question to her, to Hanumanji. And Hanumanji said, Mother, and then that's the beauty of the Ram Katha. Then he told how much Sri Ram loves you, how much Sri Ram loves you. And that is basically gradual movement up the ladder of the emotional feelings guidance scale. He kept on getting her up one by one, one by one, one by one, and to the level of when saying that Ramchandraji loves you very much. And then he talks about absolute consciousness. Like he talks about the greatness of Sri Ram and what Ram is all about. Then only she understood that this is how she got, Hanumanji got her out of it. Hanumanji didn't talk directly consciousness. He first dropped the ring. That made her think, and she got that particular mindset was created, and that mindset was created in order to accept the concept of consciousness or Ram Katha even, right? If you directly tell Ram Katha without dropping the ring, then she might doubt whether the Ram Katha, of course, Ram Katha, most people can talk Ram Katha, but maybe Ram Katha is been told by some secret agent from Ravan. So Hanumanji dropped the ring first because ring was more authentic and true thing, tangible thing that Sitaji could actually touch and feel. When that tangible touching and feeling thing happened, then only Hanumanji told Ram Katha. That was beautiful. One of the greatest psychologist or psychotherapist I can ever conceptualize even. Then Hanumanji talks about how much Sri Ram loves her. He said, Matu Kushala Prabhu Anuja Sameta. Hanumanji, Sitaji said, how is Sri Ram? Now, it was such a difficult question for Hanumanji to answer. How is Sri Ram? Now, he cannot say Ram is he is fantastic. He's doing excellent. Oh my goodness. He is doing excellent. I am suffering here. How can he do that? That is a tough question. It's a tough answer to give. He cannot even say he's bad in a very horrible state. He cannot say that either because then she will become more depressed because, oh my goodness, because of me, and he is suffering now. So that will make her doubly unhappy. So Hanumanji is very beautiful. He says, Matu Kushala Prabhu Anujasam. Kushal means mother. Prabhu is with his brother, they are okay. He didn't say they are great. He didn't say they are depressed. He says, Kushal, they are okay. Tav dukhi, dukhi sukrupa niketa. Means because of your sorrow, they are sorrowful. Because of that, right? Janani Janu, you should understand, mother, that he loves you more than you love him. He Ram te dunami twice as much. He loves you twice as much as you love him. So Prabhu Sandesa Sunat Baidehi Magana Prem Tana Sudin Hitehi. Then Hanumanji talked about what the message is from Sri Ram. It is beautiful. In Sundarkand, it is like one entire page is there on this. What Sandesh, what message Hanumanji is telling Mother Sita. And then after listening to that, Prem Maganatani Tana Sudin Hitehi means she was almost in trance almost. She closed her eyes visualizing Sri Ram in front of her, and she had lost her body consciousness. She is completely in the zone of consciousness. That's what it is. And Kaha Kapi Hridaya Dhira Dhurumata. After that, Hanumanji said, have patience, and Sri Ram will come and he will take you from here. So that is the beauty of Hanumanji, is how beautiful Hanumanji talks about. Now the almost similar concept exists in psychotherapy, and I'll talk about a little bit here, and the brain waves and all that good stuff. So erratic breathing basically results in stress. Or let's say if you do erratic breathing, you will create stress in you. Or if stress is there in you, it will automatically get manifested as very erratic breathing, right? very haphazard breathing. So Sitaji is here right now. Struggle, despair, fear, anxiety, depression. This is where Sitaji is, right? And then what happens? At this time, people who have undergoing such situation, their brain mapping was done and by EEGs, and they found out the beta wave with having the frequency of 13 to 30 kilohertz was there and in their brain, and the cortisol and adrenaline was very, very high in their blood. Now Hanumanji drops this. This is where Sitaji is. Hanumanji senses her that her levels of cortisol and adrenaline is very, very high here, and the ring dropped here. Hanumanji drops the ring here, and then what happens is she suddenly, because she sees that in front of her, the alpha brain wave is almost like saying that in the now, in the moment, right? In the moment situation she was in, because she saw the ring in front of her, and it was like yes. But then that moment does not last that long, because you are happy at the same time you are sad. So you can, it is quite logical that this thing can go back to the beta wave again, cortisol and this thing. So little nitric oxide is released and little oxytocin is released. So that optimism is there, but not that optimism can go away in seconds. So Hanumanji, what he starts Ram Katha there, and then what happens? Then he saw. Of course, psychologists see that whenever some even better thing starts to be told to the person about their past or whatever that is, then they generate the alpha, theta, and gamma brain waves, which basically start of oxytocin and dopamine, endorphin release again. I mean, all these things are like it started here, nitric oxide and oxytocin, dopamine. Now here everything is released. Now this is very blissful state of situation. Now Hanumanji said, okay, if you want to maintain that blissful state even further, even better, what happens is Hanumanji talks about how much Ram loves her. And that is it. That's the end of it. That is what delta brainwaves, where bliss absolute is experienced, like almost to the level of unmanifest consciousness. Consciousness manifest and unmanifest. So that is the difference here. So this is what it is. So this is the entire cycle which we call the flow cycle in psychology and neurosciences, stuff like that. So basically, this is exactly what Hanumanji did, gradually brought her into the level. So where she feels absolutely confident, and she is reveling in unmanifest consciousness actually. So in the next episode, we will discuss how Ramdut means the messenger of consciousness, our breath actually, now becomes Sita Dut, or the messenger of Adi Shakti, and or that energy which powers consciousness. See, consciousness by itself does not do anything. It requires some power which is provided by Adi Shakti, which only then consciousness can do something. Okay, so it is almost like Sitaji's message is being communicated. Adi Shakti's message is being communicated by breath to consciousness. Or consciousness is the Purush, Prakriti is Sitaji, and breath is that which communicates between these two. Almost in Kundalini Shastra, this is what it is all about. Kundalini is called Shakti, which is Adi Shakti, and Ram is consciousness. So Purush, right? Purush and Prakriti. Prakriti is Sitaji, and Purush is Ram. Or you can call it Shiva and Shakti. Shiva is consciousness and Shakti is Parvati ji. So that's how, I mean, that communication, how that reaching of energy towards consciousness to get things done is what we'll be talking about next time. And that is the real power of breath. Okay. Thank you so much. And I really, really appreciate you being with me for this episode. And you know what to do next. If you like anything thus far, any one word even, please subscribe to that. And of course, share it with as many people as you can, because this is something very different that which is getting revealed essentially. Share with as many people, like it, and of course press the bell icon so that you can keep receiving it every time whenever this any of the new episodes are released. Thank you very much, and looking forward to meeting you again in episode number 15. Thank you so much.